Okay, so hi everyone, my name is Anissa and this is Josan. So this year, Project Voice has achieved many goals such as gathering the whole community like our school campus and the Joao campus to interact with one another by using an art form called blackout poetry. Blackout poetry is a type of art form that is created and inspired by a poet called Austin Kleon. And this year we've been recognized by him as well in his blog. We produce books from the same text sheets creating different poems by the teachers, parents, and students. The profit from the book goes to building a library and a community center for the group of unprivileged children in our local community that is handled by another CAS group called Invisible Children. This year, due to those connections and interactions by both campuses and getting the whole community involved, we have excelled in making authentic connections. So today, Josan and I will perform a spoken word poem in which we wrote based on that interaction.
John Lennon once said, "You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us and the world will live as one."
There is a sanctity in our human skin, how it contains every oil spill that leaks into our blood, how our interactions are more than twines around our necks, the thorns digging into our skin so you can never forget how clinging to a string of hope, threading it between your spine just to have it unravel with you. But people are more afraid to interact, afraid to touch, to speak to each other, and to hold each other's hands. We would rather deal with a verbal construct than a living person. Why is that? When we're all in this together, no matter the age, you shake another person's hand, and a story leaks through, like water falling through our fingers as we fall through it. And every story has a beginning, middle, and an end. It all starts with a single touch of analogy. We are not the only ones with the voice to fix this void.
For there's a warmth to the touch of a human hand, and a will that drives forth from a vocalization of words. If one touch can change the stage of a play, you will see new colors dancing back and forth in the moonlit room. But ho, I see a waking wall, strung high around each tattered soul. The young, the old, the bold, and the cold. It is not pain that stops these walls from falling. It is the fleeting thoughts of fear and horror. And as a child feels cold at night, never has he felt the warmth of a mother's touch. For as short the years as he has lived, he knows more than anyone that we cannot live with only ourselves. More than 1,000 fibers are what connect us together, and we are the ones who cultivate these connections, sharing trust, respect, kindness, and affection. We make sure as a race no one is left outside. So what is it that binds us all together? Mother Nature knows not to waste, only to recycle. Matter cannot be destroyed, only changed. If we all share the same breath, imagine a world where we humans are all connected, like a spider web. Oh, look as it tangles, the spirit of each thread as thin as fate, but as strong and as twisted as love. Remember that there is no right or wrong in a world without strangers. Do not be busy with this or that, with good or bad, but pay attention to the way things blend. For you too must mingle, since the earth and the sky are mingled just for you and me. Be like sugarcane, and how it's always sweet yet silent. And don't mix with bitter words, for no one likes a bitter end.
Do not be afraid. Your body is a house where the shutters blow in and out against the window pane. You are a hurricane-prone area. The skies will cry through often, swallowing a city near the ocean, and we fell so hard that our knees cracked on the pavements. But it didn't matter when we could lap each other's wounds. Because you mattered. Your mere existence is not an echo into the distance. Remember, this pleading, this mercy, the single touch you have landed your hands on is now finally written into pages, into profit that will seep out from the books you buy to make a difference. To those children on the streets with nothing but the words of their parents to tell them stories at night. To those children on the streets. To build a library out of books, to create a home out of books. This connection you've let yourself spill into each other, thank yourself now for letting yourself try, even if your feet was filled with business and words of, I need to go now, I have someplace better to be. For letting yourself wait, even if your mind has better things to do. For letting your hours slip into poetry for pages. For letting yourself look at this world through a blind eye. For trusting your creativity enough and your money enough to pages on a book. You will look back on for the children you've handed your kindness to. kindness that makes sense anymore. Only kindness that ties your shoes and sends you out into the day to mail letters. But it was our hands that became clouds, forming into one another, and fell on the faces passing beneath us of our invisible interaction. But invisible threads of interactions are the strongest tides. But what are the corners in our hands missing? We're all bones. Underneath us lays a universe of infinite size. We find that for each person on earth, a boulder exists which perfectly resembles all of us. But so many decades have left us apart, separated our steel knots into fire of what our hands have burned. But we are here now. You are here now. And its connection, only your connection, our connection, that raises its head from the crowd of the world to say, it is you I have been looking for. And then goes with you everywhere, like a shadow or a friend, like the branch of this interaction. It is you we've been waiting for, and it has always been you. Thank you.
Thank you.